We all know D.C. is the ultimate political city. When it comes to fashion, some believe it is a city still looking for its style identity.
The yeas are 230 and the nays are 189.
Washington's a really interesting place. We have a reputation naturally of being a conservative town.
Other than photographers, ad agencies, and the department stores, it really wasn't that much.
There's something happening here in Washington in terms of fashion.
Contrary to popular belief that Washington wasn't interested in fashion, I found it to be really the exact opposite.
Well, I guess the answer to that question would be, it depends how you define industry.
Would I love manufacturing to be in Washington? Yes, I think it would be great for the city.
Elaine Mensah has produced a documentary, The Politics of Fashion, D.C. Unboxed, that premieres next month. Elaine, thank you for joining us in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad we're having this discussion because first of all, you look fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
But I really don't believe some in D.C. respect this look. I think that if you're not buttoned up like I am, then you don't get the same respect. Am I wrong in that?
No, you know, interestingly enough, we addressed this issue in the film. There is a stigma, or at least has been a stigma in Washington, that if you're really stylish, that somehow,
you're
some
frivolous.
way, right, you know, or you're not too smart, or you care about things that are not important, like the economy,
right?
And, you know,
right.
Just really weighty things. But I think they shouldn't be mutually exclusive. You can be well dressed and love and have a great personal sense of style, and still be educated and smart
and brilliant and,
yes.
and able to help and save the world. How about that?
Definitely.
So where do you think that comes from?
I think it comes from just the political nature of the way DC is structured. Image, it's interesting, there was a quote from one of the cast members who said that DC is only second to Hollywood as a city that cares so much about their public image, because your public image really impacts how you're perceived. It impacts whether you get elected. It impacts how you're judged and how much work you can actually get done. And so I think this notion that being super stylish means you're gonna waste the country's money. You know, taxpayers are not going to respect you, and they're not going to feel like you have their best interests at heart, and they're going to wonder how long did it take you to get ready versus thinking about, you know, my issue, whatever that may be. And I think all of that kind of has rolled into Washington really feeling the need to always be conservative.
Well, you know, I have to say, I was surprised that Michelle Obama's style was embraced as much as it was. Now,
Yes.
we understand she's not an elected official,
Yes.
but, you know, she is the woman in town,
Yes.
and she has an amazing sense of style, and part of that is knowing what looks good on your body.
Yes.
But she's willing to push the envelope. We've seen her in form-fitting things. We've seen her in things, you know, she likes to wear the full pleat skirts. So I think she's sort of helped move this dialogue along, and she's much younger than most of the first ladies we've had.
Very true, and we actually discussed that as well in the film, and whether or not, you know, the Obamas are really to be credited for what's happening right now in DC. I think timing too. Washington has really become such, the demographics have changed, and it's skewed a little younger, and I think with so many, with the influence of young people coming in and young adults coming in, I think that perception has changed a lot. And frankly, I think the city is ready. I think the 2008 campaign really helped bring and usher in this new sense that Washington is really somewhere special. And it really is a place where glamour can exist, and that we really just need to figure out how do we navigate that and balance that out with what's important. Certain jobs require you to be conservative, and that's okay. But, you know, conservative doesn't also just mean one look.
Right.
There are many ways in which that can be done, and I think Washingtonians are definitely embracing that.
Well, I certainly think since Jackie O, Michelle Obama has been the most stylish and current First Lady, and she has helped the American fashion industry and is very connected, as we know and see, to Anna Wintour, who by all accounts is fashion.
Yes.
And thus is connected to New York, which is one of the hubs, of course, for the fashion industry.
Yeah, you know what I found interesting is, and this may sound counterintuitive, but I actually think the bad economy helped, because what it showed was that the fashion industry, through Fashion's Night Out and through other initiatives that they pushed, that the fashion industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It is a business. And outside of models and runway, which is I think what people stereotypically think about when they think about fashion, there's a whole business. You know, I always say when you wake up in the morning, what you choose to wear is determined by the fashion industry. And you may not want to be stylish, but your khakis, your polos, all of that, somebody thought about it and created it.
This is that line in A Devil Wears Prada when Meryl Streep breaks down that blue sweater that old girl has on Anne Hathaway, and she says, let me tell you how it works.
Absolutely.
And it's the truth. You know, it started here with a couture collection, which who buys couture for crying out loud? And then it you know,
trickles
down into a place where I can go get something, H&M or something,
Definitely.
you know? So where do you see us going here in DC? Do you see us, what are the fashion designers here doing?
Well, that's, you know, one of the things I really wanted to do with this film, and one of the reasons I was inspired to do the film, is that there is so little knowledge from within Washington about what's really happening with the fashion community here. And again, not just from a runway event perspective, but really from a manufacturing perspective, from a designer perspective. And what I wanted to do was really showcase all the different local talent that we have that are doing really great things. There's a local designer, for instance, her name is Marty Horowitz. She has a line called Marty Clothing. Marty is in over 100 stores nationwide, and she's based out of Potomac. She's here.
That's
people
amazing.
don't know that.
Right.
There's another designer, Michelle Baldwin. She makes scarves. She's also based out of Maryland. Her stuff has been worn by Halle Berry and Anne Hathaway, and you name it. But she's based right here in our backyard. And there are plenty of other examples like that where the local designers really are kind of under the radar and people don't think it exists because the fashion community hasn't fully evolved and matured yet. And I think this film will hopefully help open people's eyes about that.
And thank you for doing the film, by the way. I think it's very important. I mean, it's not just because I love fashion, which I do, by the way, but because this is a cottage, it's not a cottage, it's a huge industry for crying out loud. And DC is a part of it. Elaine Mensah, Politics of Fashion, DC Unboxed, I'm all over it. I'm there to support you. Thank you so much, and you look fabulous.
Thank you so much.
Why don't you stand up so we can see how pretty that dress is? It really is.
Well, I do have to say, this is from a local person. I bought it actually in a retail store right here down the street called Upstairs on 7th.
Yes.
So,
very nice.
Thank you.
Very beautiful.
Thank you very much.
And thank you so much. Stay with us. We'll be right back.